El Jefe, Mr. Glass Half Full, the revival.
Oh, just something about that music gets me hyped. Peace and blessings. It is your boy, Eli Rex, a.k.a. Vibes, and welcome to New York Revival, where it's not just sports, it's entertainment. And I'm here with my brothers, man. You guys know who this is, and that's Mr. Glass Half Full, and that's Speed if you nasty.
Bam, bam.
Let's go.
And I'm here with my brother El Jefe, aka White Jersey, aka Blue Jersey, aka Damn It Daniel. And shout out to the revivalists in the chat. Please hit that thumbs up, share, and subscribe. We appreciate the revivalists in here. Super chats is open. We got a special guest in the building, but guys, we're just gonna jump right into this. We're not gonna go around the room. We got so much to talk about, and we want to get to all the New York Revival stuff. And listen, I'm gonna start with Mr. Glass Half Full here, man.
Oh, me?
You know what I'm excited about, and I'm gonna do something a little different for our community here. You know what I'm excited about? A little bit of the crosstown rivals, man. Did you guys see those legacy uniforms? Did you guys see them?
Dude, they are pretty.
Out of 5 stars, what do you got, man? And I'm gonna start with Mr. Glass Half Full, and then El Jefe. What you got out of 5 stars?
For me, dude, it's a solid 4. I love it. I like they're fly, you know, they're sharp. Give me all whites or all blacks all the time. And they're all whites with the white face mask, the white jet symbol.
It's old school, man.
It's got the old school look. They're fresh, dude. They're fresh. I gotta give listen. We're not ones to give the Jets tons of props in the show, but I'm going to give them props, bro. I am going to give them props. They did the right thing. Shout out to the equipment managers over there. Shout out to whoever creates the jerseys. I got to give it up to them, man. I got to give it up.
F.
I am such a big fan of pretty much all. Oh, look at this guy. Our freaking fan of the month. Just this guy.
Chris, our fan of the month here, baby.
Fan of the month. We got a special announcement with you, Chris Peace.
You know what? That was a power move. You know what that was? That was Chris Peace marking his territory. Like the show just started. I'm the fan of the month. Everybody else back up. Sit down. This is my show.
Let's go.
You're the man.
He
Shout
knew
out to Chris Peace, man. Revival fan of the month.
Fan of the month, right? He knew it, and he just marked his territory there.
He's like, these boys know me. Watch this.
The fan of the month has time to come on the show. So, Chris, we got you, man. We're just going to set up a date to where you're going to jump on. And, of course, state your piece and host with us, man. You're going to host with us. You're going to be getting the show notes and all that. We don't really have show notes, but it's all right. You're going to get all that stuff here today. All right? This is what we do. But I like that, Jefe. Did you give me a rating, man? Because I don't know. I got excited there with Chris coming in here. I'm sorry, bro.
I dig it. I'm good with the 3.5 or 4. I think they're like the Jets have pretty basic uniforms. Like they're usually rocking with like just 2 colors pretty much. Occasionally they have like a dark version where they got a little like black in there, which is all right.
Yeah, I like the
black version. Like I'm a fan of any team kind of like stretching their wings a little bit and trying different uniforms and trying different things. I feel like that's one thing the Giants are behind in, right? Like you see a lot of like good looking sharp uniforms out there. The Giants went back in time and they look fucking awesome. Don't get me wrong. Like, like these helmets, right? With the old school Giants logo, that's what's up.
Go back to them shits.
Please. Give me the red ones. Give me the red alternates for the Giants. I'll take those, man. Like I thought those were like crazy hot back in the day. But I don't know, that's just me.
What do you got? Do you like them? Do you like the white jerseys?
This is a good 3, man. I mean, and I think it's a 3 because I'm being a little bit biased too. But it's just a 3. It's a 3.
Take the bias out. Would you rock them?
You know what? I would. I really would, man. And I think I'll be happy to see the team in that legacy uniform. They really went old school. They got the white little face mask, like you said. The Jets, like they really went back in the day and reached back a little bit to get that all white.
They need to add a little extra spice. They got Aaron Rodgers, a lot of excitement. They got Hard Knocks. There's a lot of attention on the Jets this year. Do you think the Jets were a good choice for Hard Knocks?
I love it.
Hell yeah.
I love it.
Hell yeah.
I think I love it even more that because Rodgers and the whole team doesn't want to do it. To me, it's like it's an extra little
better television. Yeah,
the scowl on his face, and he's gonna be that that little attitude that fucking Rodgers has. Like it's always like I'm a better than you attitude, and he's gonna be flaunting that shit all day long, dude. I love
And you
it.
know what?
I love
Not for nothing. He's in a new environment too, right? He's in a new environment, so we expect him to show off a little bit. We expected him to go out there and be that cocky son of a gun that he is.
Little sizzle, little sizzle on those throws.
He's been having a good camp for what I know, so I'm excited to see. But let me ask something different here. What players are you excited to see on the Jet side? And at least in Hard Knocks. What players? And I'm gonna start with yeah. Hef, who you got?
For Hard Knocks, I think Sauce is a cool character, both on Hard Knocks and this season, because like that was like a historic rookie year to come out as a rookie and then be in like the top 3 conversation right off the bat. Like, imagine Banksy comes in here and they're talking about him as a top 3 corner. I mean, Jets, they spent a crazy high pick on him, but like, first round pick. But I mean, that could lit the league on fire. And as a rookie, he's super confident. But I think Garrett Wilson on offense could have an absolute monstrous year. You want to see a little dime that Rodgers threw to him today?
Please.
Yeah, let's do it.
Show the people.
Slowed it down. I should have put it to music, but this is what you. Also, if you're a fantasy football guy and you're looking for a wide receiver to latch onto, Garrett Wilson.
It should have been like some slow music, like porn music.
Bing, 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 bing.
Oh, we went in different directions. I was going.
Sorry, I don't know. My head's in the gutter.
I know what you were doing on your breaks today.
Listen, but the fact that Aaron Rodgers made that look, he made it look really good, Aaron Rodgers. He threw it look great. I'm excited to see what this team could do, and I think they're going to make noise in the NFC East, man. I really think they're going to make it to the play. I said AFC, right? I said N? Give me. AFC East. In the AFC East, I think this team's going to make some noise. I think they're going to make the playoffs, and I think they're going to go far. I said that way before Aaron Rodgers, I believe, was even traded. Well, actually, no, as soon as he was traded, I started saying that. Forgive me. But I think the Jets is that team that's that New York Revival. That New York Revival team, man. So I think they're trending upwards. I think they're going to make noise. I think Aaron Rodgers got that chip on his shoulder. I'm excited to see, man, Aaron Rodgers, man. I ain't going to lie. I think he just found that new birth, that new step.
And,
you know what I mean?
And for all the people, we're trying to incorporate Jets in a little bit more. So we're going to have some Jet content guys coming on. So tell your Jet friends, come on over, come listen to Revival.
It's a safe place.
It's a safe place for everybody here. But listen, talking about Aaron Rodgers I want to talk about one more thing before we get into some Giants talk here. Now, quarterbacks always top of mind in the NFL, correct? Like that's the most important position in the NFL. I want to talk about, there's so many quarterbacks that are under pressure, different levels of pressure here. So I'm going to throw a question at you guys. I'm going to throw the question in the chat. You, Jeff. Who has the most pressure out of these quarterbacks? I'm going to give you a big list here, okay? We're starting with Aaron Rodgers.
Get in there, chat.
We're starting with Aaron Rodgers, the savior, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah. So, like, the Jets savior, haven't won a Super Bowl in forever. He's under a ton of pressure. Dak Prescott. Is that window closing for Dallas? At some point, you have to win a big playoff game, right?
So you want us to answer? Do we want us to answer pressure, some pressure, or no pressure?
No, you know what? Let's do that. Okay. Let's start.
So
let's start
the
from the
name of
top
a quarterback. Mm-hmm.
Aaron Rodgers. Pressure from 1 to 5. What you got? How much pressure?
3.
It's a 3. He's right. He's already won a Super Bowl. He's been to the top of the mountain. He's on the downhill. This is his retirement tour. 3.
Yep. 3.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay. Actually, you know what, guys? Should we just get Tina in on this? Let's get Tina in on this to get in this conversation. This is our brother. Let's get him in here. There he is. I was going to have this whole conversation. I was like, let's get him in here. I see him talking on the chat. Welcome, sir.
Stand up. I'm excited to come on and talk. We'll talk football with you guys. I think this is a cool topic. I want to jump into
it. Baby.
Absolutely. Yeah, please come on in. Come on in. Anthony, hold on. Let me give him the right introduction.
Yeah,
guys, if you don't know who this is, just in case you've been living under a rock, this is Entertainah, talking sports, godfather of YouTube, Yoda. Welcome to Neo Revival. Round of applause. Round of applause.
I'm going to need Eli. I'm going to hire you. From now on, every time I go live, I don't do the intros anymore. You're my MC. You do it.
I got you.
I got you. Sir. Best in the business right there. Best in the business.
When we started the show, we're like, well, we need an A mic. We need like an MC. We're like, yeah, it's Eli. It's like there was no conversation. We're like, so we decided you are the guy, and he's like, oh, all right. Are you sure? And then,
But yeah, I'm gonna just jump right into it. I love this topic of conversation. I want to go over the quarterbacks.
I'm
gonna go 4 for Rodgers. I appreciate the point by Hefe, and I think it's a good one. It is a little bit of a retirement tour, but it's New York. It's a team that I think is the expectations are we were a quarterback away. Rodgers still is trying to cement. He's obviously going to go. He's going to be a Hall of Famer, but I think he's trying to cement his legacy as a top 5 quarterback. And he probably needs that second Super Bowl to undeniably be a top 5 quarterback of all time. He's going to New York with a team that, to me, is very similar to that Broncos team when Peyton Manning went there late in his career.
Yeah.
So I think if you're a Jet fan, you expect Super Bowl or you expect contention for Super Bowl. So I'm actually going to go a little higher. I'm going to go a 4 for Rodgers.
I like that. I'm on the same level, man. I'm on the same level. I think that the New York media is going to expect a lot out of Aaron Rodgers. This is a starved fan base. Like, they did not pick up Aaron Rodgers to say, hey, let's just get into the playoffs and we'll take. No, they expect big things out of this guy. And listen, Saleh doesn't have much time, right? He doesn't have much time. They gotta make this into a winner this year. It's not like a long-term project.
For the Jets, out of 5, the pressure's a 6. But for Rodgers, I'll go 4.
Yes.
One good point you have, like on the making it a 4 instead of a 3, is that the expectation is Super Bowl. This isn't a rebuild where we're hoping to like improve over last year. No, the expectation is you get to the top of the mountain. So
100%.
All right.
So they got the defense. They got the defense. It has to be this year, right? So with all the defense and etc., it has to be this year. Unfortunately, but the reason why I say the pressure's a little bit low because it's like, all right, he's getting acclimated. It's Aaron Rodgers. The hype will be there, but it's just a little bit low. But I think that next year is like, all right, Aaron, you was here for something. Let's go. We need you. But we'll see.
Okay, so I got another one for you guys. Dak Prescott. Now he got his big contract. At some point, he's got to win a playoff game, right? Like you keep doing this like regular season. 5. Yeah, step out. Okay, man. What you got? 5. All right,
that's a 5. Dak, come on. You had to answer the bell 2 years ago. You know what I mean? Like you got the money, you got the contract. Your pressure's on you. Top of the 5, man. For me,
it's a 5 because I think the stigma with Dak his entire career, or at least early on in his career, is he was a quarterback early on, similar to Purdy with the Niners, where he got spoon-fed a ready-made Super Bowl roster. He came in, he benefited from that. Then, obviously, he started to elevate and statistically, and once they got a new offensive coordinator in there. But he's a quarterback now that's coming up towards the end of his leash for me with the Dallas Cowboys. If he
100%.
kind of bombs this year like he did last year, where he led the league in interceptions, if the Cowboys don't win a playoff game, I could see Dallas going with a quarterback in the draft in next year's draft. So I do think the pressure's out of 5 for Dak Prescott this year.
When you sent the list out, and you're like, who's under the – Dak was going to be my pick under the most pressure because there's a lot of guys like Russell Wilson. Yes, he needs to prove himself. He had a shitty year, but he's been there. You know what I mean? Like there are guys that have done it and they just need to prove it again. He's like the thing with the Cowboys is you can't like keep getting knocked out in the first or second round. They've had enough talent to win a Super Bowl. Yeah. They've been there. I don't think their coaching has been good enough. But Dak has got that thing where it's like, can he do it? You don't know. You got that star on your helmet. It comes with a ton of pressure. So it's definitely Dak for me. That's an easy
then I'm going to agree. I'm going to say 5 because then he even put even more pressure on himself just recently, saying, I'm not going to throw more than 10 picks this year. Like, I don't understand why a quarterback would do that.
You have a tip ball. That's on your record forever. You can't be saying shit like that.
You just put more pressure. There's already enough pressure on you. Why add that other element? Like, if you throw 11 picks, it's not going to be the end of your year. But you know what? 5 because of the playoff appearances. The window for Dallas is now. If they don't get accomplished now, like they paid everybody their high contracts. CeeDee Lamb's up next. You know they got Tony Pollard back. The offensive line's gotten paid. Defense is ready. It's time for Dak to step up. It's time for Dak to step up. Yeah. Blah, blah. All right, let's go. All right, this is another big one. Lamar. What do we have for Lamar Jackson? Hefe, what do you got for Lamar? He just got paid buku bucks.
I'm gonna give him a 4 because
4. Okay.
He's been an MVP. But what have you done in the playoffs? And now, now he finally has the wide receivers to say you can't use that anymore, right? Like this is a team. They're well coached. They've had stability there. They've had the same head coach, same quarterback for a long time. It's time to get to the dance. And unfortunately, the AFC is just fucking stacked. So I don't think it's going to happen for him because there's just elite quarterbacks over there, different kinds of quarterbacks. And I don't know. He's been an MVP. I'm going to give him a 4, but it's not a 5 for me.
Okay.
I'm going to say a 3, man. And the reason why it's a 3 is because I think now they're just starting to put that offense together. Like Hefe said, they finally got the receivers. that he was looking for, right? So I think it's a 3. It's just like, can Odell be Odell still? Can those guys help him at this point still? So I don't think the press is more of him. It's presses on those receivers, see if those guys can learn that playbook. Because Lamar's going to be Lamar. He's a special talent, right?
Right.
But I just don't think that pressure is near that 4. I think it's going to be stuck at that 3 for me.
The other factor, real quick, is that Lamar likes to run a lot. And how is Odell going to handle not getting peppered with targets like Eli used to just spoil him with? You know what I mean? Like, how is he going to handle that?
Maybe in Stafford, too. Tana, what you got, man?
Yeah, for me, there's like different ways that I could measure the pressure. Like, he got his money. So from a financial standpoint, he doesn't have the pressure.
No pressure there.
Right? So that's why I can't put it at a 5. But from like I guess like a legacy standpoint, since that MVP year, he started to drop a bit, right? And some of that definitely has to do with the injuries and the talent around him. I'll put him at a 3.5 to a 4. Like, he's never had like a deep playoff run. I think if he wants to enter that, say, top 5 quarterback discussion again, he needs that. But because he's already gotten his big contract and the AFC is incredibly loaded, I don't think anybody's going to expect him to win a Super Bowl this year. Yeah, I'm kind of like between a 3 and a 4. He's like a tweener for me.
Yeah. I mean, listen, the excuses have now gone out the window. He's got everything he needs offensively. He's got running backs. He's got a good offensive line. He's got the wide receivers, top 5 tight end. At some point, the guy that you paid all that money to has to step up and take his game to the next level. Now, I want to see, like, in a game where the running game is taken away from him in the playoffs and shit gets tough, can he step up and elevate his game to the next level and win his team the most important game of every season? He has not done that yet. I don't know if he has in his tank, but we're going to find out this year. I think we're going to find out. The offensive coordinator was another excuse. A lot of people made excuses about he's got Greg Roman,
which I didn't get because with that offensive coordinator, he had him an MVP season.
But everybody says he still got limited by that guy. So we'll find out, man. We're going to find out everything. I'm going to put it at, for me, it's at a 4, solid 4 for me. I want to see it at a Lamar this year. That's what we'll stack that one. Got another one for you guys. Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson. Entertainah, give me what your thought is on Deshaun Watson, the previously highest guaranteed guy. I think he still is, right? The highest guaranteed money guy.
I think, because it was fully guaranteed. Herbert's pretty close after the contract he got today.
He's fallen off the
How do you get that
for some reason?
How do you get that contract?
The Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns. That's how.
Cleveland Browns. Exactly.
Exactly.
But no, I would put him. I feel like people have almost like forgotten about Deshaun Watson. Like I always thought he was a tad bit overrated at one point. Now I think he's underrated. Yes. But like he got to a point where people were saying he was on the level of Mahomes. I did not ever put him in that class.
Close.
But now I think he's a little bit underrated. But because he's kind of on the back burner, he's on Cleveland. I don't think there's any Super Bowl expectations for that team going into this year. He already got paid, like you said. He definitely needs to start to get back to what he was. So there's certainly
he was bad in the last season, by the way. Bad.
I think I'm gonna put it at like a 3. I don't think he's like a flaming hot pressure like a Dak Prescott, for example.
Okay. Flaming hot pressure. I like that.
And mind you guys, this kid's 28 years old too. He's 20 years old, highest guaranteed QB contract, and nobody's talking about. Must be nice for Deshaun Watson to not be talked about, right? Zero pressure. Are you kidding me?
I'll just go real quick. That's why it's like a 2. It's a 2 for me. I don't think there's nobody's like, well, the Browns really need to do it this year. I feel like no one cares about the Browns right now.
Yeah.
Wild to say.
Dude, it's funny. You say it's a 2. I'm gonna say it's a 1. All right, like it's just like you see how we're just talking about him. It's just so nonchalant, right? It's just like Deshaun Watson. Okay, he's gonna do his thing. Got the highest guarantee. It's the Cleveland Browns, right? Let's see what he could do. If he goes back there and they're actually in contention, then that following year,
then the pressure builds. Yeah,
exactly. Okay. Right now it's just like, all right, let's see what he can do. So it's a 1 for me.
Okay, and how about this name for you guys? We'll do a quick run around here. Tua, E. What
5
you got?
For me. 5.
Oh, yeah, Dana 5.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go.
Okay, you guys
because what quarterback has more in the NFL? He's still playing for a contract. Right, he's coming up on his contract year where he's going to expect an extension. You have Tyreek Hill, you have Jalen Waddle, you got your second year in the offense. You better produce, and from a health standpoint as well, he's got to stay on the field. So for me, 2 is out of 5. A lot of pressure this year.
Okay, Hefe, what you got?
It's not as high for me. Like I still think Dak in Dallas is the highest amount of pressure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give to a 3.5 because of just he has the two most exciting weapons. Like just that speed. They like what a fun freaking offense.
And they have a running back too. Like did they just get somebody at running back?
They tried to get.
I think they were trying to get Cook, but they didn't get him.
Cook too.
Apparently
they made an offer to Dalvin.
They made an offer. Yeah.
I think he'll end up there. But anyway, keep going. Sorry, buddy. Sorry for
there's a lot of pressure for him to stay healthy. But I don't know if there's that level of expectation for him to become an elite quarterback. I think so. 3.5.
Yeah. The reason I'm going to go 5 is because I think he has to become a borderline elite quarterback to get paid with the cast that he has. Because if they don't make the playoffs and he has like a 20 touchdown year and he gets hurt, he's not getting paid. So that's why I think there's pressure. Yeah.
Max, I'm gonna say a solid 3.5 with Hefe there. I think that he's got to stay healthy, got to produce, guys, and like there's not much left to do it. Like you have a great coach, good offensive line. Like there's again no excuses. Show me what you got. To another name for you guys, Russell Wilson. Different. Well, you hear what I say here. I'm not going to say a scale 1 through 5. Is he cooked or not? Is he cooked or not?
Oh.
Is he cooked or not?
That's a better question, actually.
That is a good question.
I like that. Man, is he cooked? You guys gonna probably think I'm crazy. I don't think he's cooked, man. I really don't think so. I think he has some left in the tank. It's just got to be the right coach. Like he's that type of quarterback.
He's got the right coach. He's got Sean Payton.
He got Sean Payton now, right? So I think with Sean Payton, we're gonna see that not to say old Russell Wilson, but you'll see a whole lot better per se, because he didn't have the right coach, in my opinion, and he's that type of quarterback that needs the right coach, sort of like Daniel Jones. So I think unfortunately, I thought Russell Wilson was always a little bit overrated, in my opinion. Even though he won a Super Bowl, don't get it twisted, but I always thought he was always overrated. So I think he has the right coach. Sean Payton's gonna be that guy. He's gonna be better. But I like to see what his ceiling is for sure.
Hefe, cooked or not?
I love that. Just for fun, I'm going to say cooked because last season I saw a broken man. I saw a guy that didn't know his ass from his elbow. He's doing cringe shit with his let's ride. Like I saw a man that I'm not going to put my money on. So I'm going to say cooked.
Yeah. Okay.
Right, cool.
Dana, cooked or not?
I'm going to say he's cooked in terms of ever being an elite quarterback again.
Okay.
But I still think he can be a good quarterback. I think he could be much better than he was last year, but I don't think he'll ever even be close to a top 5 quarterback ever again.
Right. I mean, that's fair. Yeah, I think what we've lost. I mean, he's got the weapons around him too. That's another situation where he got Sean Payton, one of the best minds. Like if he can't get to an above average level, that this might be the downfall. And the problem is, his teammates don't even like him, and I think that's part of the issue here. Like he's just not liked, and it's hard to be a good quarterback in the NFL when you don't have the trust of your teammates. But I'm going to say cooked. I don't think he's got elite level left in him. He's going to have a couple more average years and then be done because he's made a shitload of money. One more for everybody. One more. How about Justin Fields? Level of pressure on Justin Fields.
I like that one. Can I start?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think Justin Fields has become the most overrated quarterback in the NFL this year. That's my honest opinion, and that doesn't mean he can't reach what people are saying he is.
Okay.
But people are projecting for a guy that has a career record of 5-20 that I believe has never had a game where he's thrown over 300 yards. His team had the first pick. Name me the last elite quarterback whose team had the first pick his second year early. He was a quarterback of the team. And people are saying that this guy's incredible already. Like,
I don't know how.
Pump the brakes a little bit. He's got potential. But based off the things people are saying about this guy, they added weapons. It's a 5 for me. It's a 5 for me. You're already claiming this guy's a top 10 quarterback. He better start winning games this year, and he better start producing.
I like it.
Can I go really quick?
Yeah, you get in there.
Absolutely, I agree with Tana. Absolutely, because they were actually comparing him and Daniel Jones. Like, he was so better than Daniel Jones. We want him. His ceiling is high. And I'm like, dude, at least Daniel Jones took us to the playoffs. Second round at that. You get what I'm saying? This guy can't win. Listen, anybody that thinks Justin Fields is like this awesome top 10, 5 quarterback, you're smoking rock. All right, put the rock down. All right, let's be honest, man.
I'm
This
not
guy
saying it's
is.
impossible. He may be able to reach that, but he's nowhere near it right
I
now.
don't even think he's near reaching that. I don't even think he's that type of prospect, in my opinion. You put on his film, you're like, okay, he does some good things, and there's some things he's struggling with. Some people just can't make that jump into the National Football League, and he's that quarterback, in my opinion. He really, really is. I just don't see it in him. I really, really don't. I watch it year in, year out since he's been on this field with Chicago. I just don't see it. I don't see the hype. I just don't. Okay. Somebody told me off a ledge here. And if I'm wrong, hey, so be it. But I just don't see it. I just don't. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna say that his pressure's at a 3.5 again because he still's got time in his contract to do stuff. He's still a young player who's building. But I agree that this needs to be the year where he shows something in the passing game. Like we know he is an elite runner. We know that for sure. He started putting some good passing games together at the end of last year. Let me say average to like slightly above average passing games. But he needs that consistency of like 5 to 10 games in a row where he can show that he's a passer. He can come back. He could be that guy. I saw a little bit of it in Ohio State. I liked his throwing ability at Ohio State. It hasn't translated to the NFL yet. So I'm going to say 3.5, but it's going to go up real quickly. This team is ready, a win now team now. Got to win now.
Yeah, they're a win now team now. So.
Yeah. Hefe.
I'll answer, and then we have a fun super chat question coming through.
Yeah.
I think he's a good fantasy quarterback. And did he rush for 1,100 yards last year? Did I make that up?
I think you might be right.
He rushed, so like he's got talent, but I will say the pressure is at a 4 out of 5. And not that there's Super Bowl expectations, but that franchise had a decision with a first overall pick. Yeah. And a quarterback who's already played a couple years on his rookie contract. They said, nah, that's our guy. We're trading that pick. So they could have had their pick of the litter, quarterbacks, whatever they wanted to do. They said, no, this is our guy. That comes with a ton of pressure just right there because now you only got 2 years kind of to figure it out. You better do it this year. They got him a receiver, the dude from Carolina, right? What's his name?
Yeah, CJ Moore.
Thank you.
DJ
Moore. So he's got a good receiver now. It's definitely a lot of pressure. I'm going to give him a 4. Yeah. Are you ready for a fun question from the super chat?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's go.
Thank you, Chris. I like this is a fun one. And a bell for the super chat.
What's up, Chris?
Yes.
Which New York Giant player do you think would be a successful UFC fighter?
Bellinger for me.
Okay. Solid.
Hey, see the size of this guy's huge, man. Looks like he can just crack walnuts with his arm. This guy's huge.
Yeah, heavyweight too.
Bellinger for me.
Okay. Who else want you know what? I'm gonna take this one. I'm gonna go with a guy that's off the beat path a little bit. I want to say Hattie. I think Hattie he's got that mentality that he will kill you, kind of mentality. Yeah. Like he's just stocked. He's got that mean, aggressive mentality. I think he's a killer in that ring. So I'm gonna say Hattie for me. Give me Hattie.
Last year's Giants team, I would have said Nick Gates, but being that he's no longer on the team, I'm going to go. We're just talking like muscular, and Aziz is huge. Like Aziz got some. Aziz is gigantic, and he's really athletic for a man of his size too. So I'm gonna go with Aziz Ojulari.
I was weirdly thinking of every man's physique on the roster also. And I don't think there's many more impressive. I hate that I'm saying these words out loud. I'm gonna say Saquon. Look at the way
not a bad one.
Not bad at all.
And this is going to get even weirder. Imagine his legs wrapped around you, just like how are you getting out of that? The guy is so strong. He's just low center of gravity. Like imagine him like getting low. Like how do you fight him? What do you do with that? So
it's a great question.
Take one for me.
Hey, I got a couple of good ones in the chat. A lot of people said JMS.
Good one.
This guy's a former wrestler.
Yeah,
at Minnesota. A center, he's powerful, gritty. Another good answer. A couple of good ones out there.
I like that one.
I like it.
Great question. If you guys got some fun questions at us, go for it.
Go for
it. Hell yeah, we love it.
In other devastating news, Kadarius Toney has been injured. Moving on.
Yep. Anyway,
Saquon Barkley has been signed, man. Everyone is so hyped about it, man. Of course, we're going to start with our special guest here. $11 million. Remove that tag. Get the tag off. It's no longer tagged, all right? It's no longer tagged. But
I'll get that later.
Bye-bye.
But Tana, man, give the people what's your thoughts, how you feel. It's $11 million. It's $900,000 more than the franchise tag. But how do you feel, Tana, man? What's going on? Give me your thoughts.
I mean, as a Giants fan, you got to be thrilled. The offseason that Joe Shane had is impeccable, incredible what he was able to do. To bring he got the best of both worlds. He got to eat have his cake, whatever the phrase is. Whatever it is, he got the best of both worlds. He got to sign Saquon Barkley, but now he doesn't even run the risk of it disrupting the locker room. He signs the deal. He shows up to camp. He's not missing a second of camp. Obviously the fear was if he was going to be forced to play in the tag, he wouldn't show up to week 1. Who knows if he's even ready to go to a full capacity against the Cowboys, which is such a big game to start the year. And now Shane's the biggest winner on this, like huge winner. Barkley's still a loser, but Barkley looks really good from a PR standpoint now, right? Because he looks like a team guy. He basically takes the franchise tag. It is the franchise tag with $900,000 in incentive. So he didn't even get $11 million. He got 10.1, and he needs to hit, I think it's 11 touchdowns to get 300,000. He needs to hit 1,300 rushing yards to get 300,000, and he needs to hit 65 catches to get 300,000. So he has to hit very high marks to even get that 11 and the playoffs to even get that $11 million. I have to think for Saquon to do this, because there's really no financial benefit for him to do this. I have to think there's like an under the table agreement by Shane and Barkley that says, listen, we're not going to tag you next year. I'm not going to guarantee you we're bringing you back, but we'll let you hit the open market if we don't bring you back. I have to think that. Otherwise, if you're Barkley, other than him being the kindest man in the world and thinking just about his teammates, there's no real incentive to do this.
You're absolutely right.
Man. Hefe, what do you think, man?
This is such a win-win for both sides. I think Saquon misplayed the whole thing.
Well, it's more of just win, kind of win.
Why give me Trump? What's his pay? What is this?
So not so much of a win for Saquon, but mostly just. Well,
I mean, from like this point, what could Saquon do from this point? Meaning, like, what's done is done. He misplayed it. Instead of I don't think he's that kind of guy that wants to drag it out.
Called it.
He doesn't even want to negotiate. I don't think he wanted any of that. He just wanted a fair, whatever he got fair offers, in my opinion, like based on the market. They offered more than any other running back. He didn't take it. He got tagged. This is a win. He took $2 million up front. Cheers. $900K in incentives, and they have to make the playoffs for him to even get paid on those incentives.
Yep.
Right. So this was a win. He saved face by like, the Giants gave up. They gave him $2 million up front, right in the bank right away. That's fine.
It's basically like the Giants just prettying it up, making the franchise tag look a little prettier to make it look
lipstick
like they gave
lipstick on the pig. That's exactly right. We have a super duper chat real quick. I want to get to it before I lose it in the shuffle here. From a name so nice, he said it twice. Thomas.
Let's
Double
go.
T's.
Appreciate
Let's
the
go,
super
buddy.
chat.
Let's go. Let's go. Big time. Let's go.
All right.
Hey, and he's right. He's right.
As a Giants fan, no one is talking Giants as a threat. They're actually laughing that DJ got 40 mil and Barkley got the tender offer. It's true. The Giants are not getting any actual respect yet because want to know why? And rightfully so. They're the third best team in a 4-team division. Actually, they're fighting to be the third best team.
Yeah.
Right? That's not even a lot. Washington has talent. I would say they're third best too because of somehow we just own Washington in recent years. I'll say it. I don't care.
But you know what? You know why the Giants don't get the respect as of right now? Because they got to do it again. They got to prove last year wasn't a fluke, that they didn't beat this Minnesota team. I don't care what no one says. Whatever. Minnesota couldn't be stopped. All right, our defense is getting shredded too out there. It's just we had the better game, but they got to do it again. And I think once the Giants start doing it again, especially if they go out and they beat Dallas, that laughing stock's gonna be like, oh shit, this team is serious. Like we got to stop laughing. We got to look at this team and say, yo, they have a shot. So the Giants got to go prove it, man. They got to go get it.
Yeah, my answer, and I agree with everything that you guys just said. For us to gain respect, we got to continue to. But even when we get respect, people are still. We're New York. It's just
Right.
we're an easy target. They're going to continue to drill on us because it's easy ratings. They know we're reactionary, so on and so forth. So expect it. But my thing, Thomas, is, and I said it in my live stream today. No matter what Joe Shane did with the Daniel Jones situation or with the Saquon Barkley situation, he was going to get ridiculed. If you traded 4 first-round picks and moved up to get Anthony Richardson, people say, what are you doing? You have no talent on this team. Now you have no draft picks going forward. If you tag Daniel Jones, they'd say, what are you doing? Now you committed $32 million to this year's cap. How are you going to improve the rest of the roster? If you give Daniel Jones $40 million, they just look at the average AAV and they ridicule you for that. So no matter what they did, they were going to get ridiculed. With the Saquon Barkley situation, same thing. If they pay Saquon Barkley what the so-called experts are saying they should pay him and that he's earned, they'd laugh at us. They'd say, you paid a running back when nobody else was, who's had an injury history, who's 26 years old. If you franchise tag him, they ridicule you for that. So no matter what Joe Shane did, he was going to get destroyed in either situation. And that comes with the territory as a general manager. And I'm sure Shane doesn't care. He has his vision, how he wants to build his football team. So I really don't care what the ESPNs of the world say, the Fox Sports of the world say. Their whole thing is they want to draw up drama. They want to draw up headlines. They want to draw up debates. But it doesn't matter to me.
And can we talk about the $40 million thing again? Now that Justin Herbert, by the way, signing his Buku Buck massive contract, he goes to the top of the list of AAV. It drops Daniel down to 10 now. All right, tied for 10th highest AAV. Once Burrow gets his, he's going to be dropped down to 11th. Are we saying that the 11th highest quarterback is really that big of an overpay when you're talking about an AAV standpoint?
And his guaranteed money is going to be even lower than that.
Right. Yeah. Right. If he might not even see that through. So like the AAV is not going to be what it is if he doesn't play well. So is it too crazy to think that Daniel Jones might be the 11th best quarterback in the NFL, and live up to his 40 million? No. So I don't get this craziness over that.
By end of season, it'll seem even less crazy because I have full faith that he's going to have a much better year in the second season with Dable.
Agreed.
He's going to get, like, right now I have him in like the 12 to 15 based on how the season ended, right?
I think that's fair. Yeah.
And I don't think that's blowing smoke. I don't think that's crazy. I would never say as of right now that he's a top 10 quarterback, but after another season.
Let's just say he's the 15th best. Let's just say that. And I think that's fair.
Right.
If somebody said he's the 15th best.
I'd be, Sure.
Is it worth paying the 15th best quarterback the 11th most money when he's 25?
That's my point. Yes.
With upside, with this coaching staff, who, when he had the worst support system in football over the first 4 years of his career, yes, the upside suggests there's a very good possibility he's going to exceed being the 11th best quarterback, in my opinion. So that's why it's worth the risk. And worst case scenario is a stopgap for 2 years, and you build up the rest of your roster.
100%.
Totally agree.
Hey, and hold on before we get to the next topic, another big time guy here, our boy Big Dash knows.
Big
Dash, super chat. We appreciate you. Just
we appreciate you, brother. We appreciate you.
My dude right here.
He's a real one. I'll even say it, Dash. I'll say it publicly. With 94 people watching live right now, we were talking backstage about we got to have Dash on. Like Dash is a guy you got to follow him on YouTube, on Twitter.
He knows.
I love Dash's videos. He does really good stuff. So make sure you give that
Big Dash knows Giants football. Just want to let y'all know that. All right?
Big Dash knows what?
Knows Giants football. Shout out to Big Dash, man. We're gonna have you on that show, man. We're gonna hit you up. We appreciate you, man. We're gonna do something with a bunch of content creators, and Entertainah, of course, is gonna be part of it as well.
He could have said anything. He just wanted to do it.
Appreciate you.
Just because Dash is a good guy. Good guy.
So guys, we got training camp coming up tomorrow. Of course, Entertainah. I watched some of his live. He will not be there. However, he will be there on the weekend because why the Revival guy is gonna find some tickets for him, and he's gonna make sure he gets there this weekend. Right? It's that simple. It's that simple for us. All right. So we got you, Entertainah. Let me make some calls and make that happen for you. But we have camp coming up tomorrow, guys. So really quick, man, I just want to say, who's your high profile dude you're looking forward to this training camp? And I'm gonna start with Entertainah, man. Who you got your eye on and you're like, I can't wait to see this guy in action?
Who's that guy?
I can give you 10 guys. Like,
right.
I'm so like, well, obviously with training camp, for me, it's the young guys because like quarterback evaluation training camp is useless, right? We remember last year when Daniel Jones is throwing picks, then you find out after the fact it's because Wink knew all the plays and everybody's going crazy. Start Tyrod Taylor, blah 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 blah. So quarterback evaluation means nothing to me in training camp. So you're excited for the young guys. You're excited for the rookies, the second-year players. But, yeah, Evan Neal, right? Evan Neal, JMS. But for me, the guy I am most excited for this year is Kayvon Thibodeau. Like, to me, if you tell me if there's a guy on this roster that potentially could have that Dexter Lawrence-like jump, elevating himself to elite status at his position this year, I think it's him. Like, I think by year's end, it is entirely possible Kayvon Thibodeau could be looked at as a top 5 edge rusher in the NFL. I'm not guaranteeing that's going to happen, but the tools are there. We saw it. How many edge rushers in the NFL could win a game by themselves? We saw it last year against the Washington, whatever their name's going to be this year. So, like Kayvon Thibodeau, to me, his upside is off the charts. And I think year 2 in Wink's scheme with a lot more help now on that defense, the depth on the D-line, having an actual linebacker, better corner play with our first-round pick, Azeez on the other side, that should only help Kayvon take a huge step this year. So I think he's the guy I'm most excited about.
Okay, I like it.
I'm going to go real quick before Dana runs off the rest of the roster and I lose any other players that I can say.
Wait,
go ahead, Spiro.
Before you say that, shout out to MIG Mason.
MIG Mason.
We appreciate
Let's go, Mason. We appreciate you.
That looks like another just because.
Just because.
Thank you so much.
We love you. The best.
We love you.
Shout out to the revivalists in the chat, man. We appreciate you guys. Thank you so much, man.
I'm going to give a guy that we were very excited about, and it seems like no one's talking about him anymore, and that's Bobby Okereke.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
You son of a gun, you took it. Now I got to think something else.
I'll give you 30 seconds. This guy is so fast. He flies around the field. Yeah. He's aggressive. If you remember when the Giants played the Colts last year, he was throwing shots at DJ where I was like, fuck this guy. I'm like, I love this guy. He's on our team now.
Yeah.
I hope him and DJ have made up since that incident. Yes, I wonder if they talked about that in the locker room. But this guy can flip this defense on its head. He has that capability. If he stays healthy and he's a tackling machine, he goes sideline to sideline. That's a dude that can change this defense. I'm really excited about him. That's a spot we have not had a dude at for a long time. We've had guys, but he's a dude. And I don't know what the difference is, but I think you know what I'm saying.
No, I'm a big fan of Bobby O. I agree. It's been a long time since we had Martinez was good for that 1 year, but it's been a long time where we've had a good middle linebacker for a 3 or 4 year period. I'm hoping and thinking it's going to be him.
Yep.
I'm excited.
And Blake was good. That guy tackled his ass off. He was he was available until he wasn't, right? He was there.
He started selling some Pokemon cards, right?
Well, once he had the injury,
$1 million worth.
That first year he was good.
He was very good.
Here's the thing. He was kind of limited though. You weren't worried about Blake Martinez in coverage. You
agreed. Bobby Okereke's ceiling is much higher.
Bobby Okereke could make some things happen there, and he wasn't used properly there in Indianapolis. He kind of said that he played second fiddle to Shaq Leonard, which amazing player. Understood. He's going to be our Antonio Pierce. I'm saying it right now. He's going to come here, make an impact.
Former
Okereke.
Wow, he's got it.
Okay. After messing it up for about 3 months, I finally got it nailed down. The name
is much more intimidating than when you finally find out a say, you're like, oh, that's not that bad. It's kind of like OCU Minor. When I first saw the name, I was like, what the hell?
Yes.
And then when you learn how to pronounce it, you're like, oh, that's simple. That's like
Matthias Kiwanuka.
Yeah, Kiwanuka.
Second nature now.
I'm going to say,
Kavika Mitchell, right? See, Kavika Mitchell.
I'm going to plant my flag in an easy plant here. Easy plant. Waller's got to be that guy. Waller's got to be that guy, and I just need to see him dominate. I need to see him be the catalyst for this offense in the passing game. And it's an obvious choice, but he still needs to be the guy. He needs to stay in the field and recapture that 2021 version of himself. I think it was 2021. 2 years ago is his last solid year, and he needs to get that back. So what does he have left in the tank? Because at 30, and someone's been putting these stats out that I've seen, tight ends do tend to drop off a little bit at that age. So
we all do. Yeah.
That he can right. Facts. This is fact. But I need Darren Waller to be that guy and be that solid blanket for not blanket. He's going to be the playmaker for Daniel Jones. Can Daniel Jones get him throw the ball to him even when he's not open? We haven't seen him use a guy like that. Can he do that for Darren Waller? Because that's a guy that you just throw the ball to. Let him make plays. Doesn't matter if he's open. Can that connection work? And can it work quickly? I'm psyched up for it. Darren Waller, plant the flag. I want to see impact.
I like that one because he's
Like
interesting to follow in training camp. Like, how do they use him? Like, they,
Right.
a lot of motion. I like that one. That's a good one. I like Darren Waller.
Mm-hmm.
So, guys, because Hefe took my guy, so I'm just gonna move on to the next topic here. I'm with Hefe on this one. All right.
Okay.
So let me ask you this, man. We're gonna have a fun exercise for Entertainah. I'm gonna start throwing out some wide receivers. You give me their predictions.
Yes.
We'll just have Tana do this on the show because Tana's
Now, by the way, my predictions are going to be way off because whenever I do this, I do it strictly based off of a 17-game projection, and there's no way these receivers are playing. All of them are playing 17 games, but we'll do it.
History would say you're absolutely
for the
correct.
sake of exercise. Take a couple games in of injury if you want for some guys. But give us your overall thoughts. We want to hear your thoughts.
We're gonna give you probably maybe 5 players roughly. We'll see, but I'm gonna throw a name.
Yes.
Waller. Give me your stats here. What he'll have as far as receiving yards and touchdowns.
I'm going to project he misses some time because he just you got to figure that going in. He's going to miss a few games at least.
Fair.
I'm going to say 13 games for Waller. He misses 4 due to injury. I'm going to go 700 yards, and I'm going to go 6 touchdowns. 700 yards, 6 touchdowns because he only plays 13 games.
700 6 touchdowns.
Write this down.
I got you.
I'm going to give you Darius Slayton.
650 yards and 5 touchdowns.
Ooh, okay.
650 and 5. Got it.
Let's do Jalen Hyatt.
That's a good one.
380 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Damn, I hope it's more
383. Okay.
All right, let's do Isaiah Hodgins.
820 yards, 7 touchdowns.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oof.
How many touchdowns am I up to? I got 7. But
this is so the goal of this, and I don't want to
more than last.
Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it yet. Don't spoil it yet. This is just a good exercise.
You're up to
what do I got so far?
13, 18, 21 touchdowns from 4 guys.
Okay.
So let's do and this is granted if they come back. You know what I mean? This is granted because they're starting on the PUP list. So let's see. Let's do Wan'Dale Robinson if he comes back and he
will be back.
He will be
320 yards because I think he's only going to play maybe like 7 or 8 games. So I'll go between like 250 and 300 yards. And I'll go 2 touchdowns.
All right. Okay. Give me Paris.
Hold on. Yeah, Paris. Yep.
Paris Campbell. In a 17-game projection, I would have him very high because I think he's a very good fit in this defense.
One of them is going to play the whole year. I feel like
because of his history like Waller, I'm going to put a tax on him. I'm going to say he's missing 4 games. Same thing. So 13 games for Paris Campbell. I'm going to go 625 yards.
Wow.
And 4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
All right, Speed, let's total this right now, Speed. Unless you got one more that you can think of off the top of your head there that can kind of get the ball.
Let's chip in
you
one more guy.
Barkley. He catches balls.
Barkley will catch a couple.
Let's just say the running back position. What do you have from them from a reception, from a yardage / TD? Because Eric Gray.
All right, I'm including Gray. I'm including
the whole 9.
Barkley.
The whole 9.
650 yards total. I think Barkley's going to have at least 400 yards receiving. I think they're going to use him more in the passing game this year. I might even go 700 out of the running back position. I think
Okay.
I'm going to go 700 out of the running back position and a total of 3 touchdowns receiving.
Okay. All right.
Tina, can I ask you a sidebar
tell them why we did this?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. I can hold it.
No. Ask the question because then we'll tell them why in a second.
You said Waller 13 games. Would you sign up for that right now?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, as long as he's healthy for the playoffs.
Yes. You want the
like
middle
that.
couple games missed, like right in the middle, right?
Yeah. And you can throw Bellinger in there, too. I do think he'll be involved.
Yes. I was going to throw him.
Give me Bellinger. What you think of Bellinger, too? We'll throw him
325 yards and 4 scores. I think they use him a bit on the goal line.
So we're getting up there in touchdowns.
Yeah, we are.
As we should.
What we want to do.
So, guys, we did this little exercise because we wanted to do something a little bit different here.
It's a trap.
It's a little bit of a trap for you guys, all right? So we wanted to do something a little different from the wide receivers, tight ends, running back standpoint. And thanks to the Entertainah, we kind of totaled up of what Daniel Jones should be going into the season. And would you
how many yards did I have? Did you calculate
So
that?
9,000.
Oh, hold on. And this is not counting a lot of guys that will be involved in this offense.
I will
here,
say,
mind you,
the remainder, 250 more total yards and 0 touchdowns.
The field,
The
right?
field.
250.
Because we
Yes.
listed Bellinger,
Yes.
we listed Waller, we listed Hodges, we listed Slayton, we listed Campbell, we listed Hyatt, we listed literally every weapon and every
Everyone.
running back.
Like, is
Remainer's
Crowder
like
ever going to
200
see the
yards.
field? Is Shep
Yeah.
ever going to
So,
come back? Like, we have no idea.
This is what we're already at. We're at 4,500 passing yards, by the way.
Ooh.
Very solid passing yards.
That's what we need to see, though.
And this is just we went a little conservative on guys like Waller and Paris Campbell, and you know, there's nobody even close to 1,000 yards in this group. So I think that we did a good job, kind of like, you know, Tanner, you did a good job not underselling, but like being kind of conservative.
Semi-realistic.
Yeah,
Yes,
absolutely.
Right. So
what's the TDs looking like, Speed?
4,500 yards. We are at 7, 2,
Tana's like, oh, shit.
4.
I'm going to say 29 touchdowns, I said.
4, 3. No, you're at 34 touchdowns. 34 touchdowns, 4,500 yards. This is on the conservative end. And okay, say you even bring it down 200 yards.
I'll sign up for that.
Yeah, bring it down.
Did Daniel Jones earn that $40 million mark there, in your opinion, with those numbers that you said?
Now, if you ask me, Chris, what's he going to do? I'm going to be a little more conservative.
Yes, right.
But not much. I think he's hitting at least 4,000 yards if he plays games, because last year he played 16. If he played 17, he would have had 3,500 yards last year. Yeah. So I think he's hitting at least 4,000. They're going to throw more this year. So I'm going to say between 4,000 and 4,500 yards passing. I definitely think they're going to throw the ball a lot more this year. That's off a 17-game projection. Now, history would tell you GJ's probably going to miss 2 or 3 games. But on a 17-game projection, I'm going between 4,000 and 4,500 yards passing. And I'd probably
I think you're dead on that touchdowns. I think you're dead on, brother. I think you're dead on with that touchdowns.
Between, here's what I'll say. Total touchdowns, I'm expecting 35. Total.
Yes, that's fair.
Whether, maybe 27 passing, 8 rushing, 28 passing, 7 rushing, 30 passing, 5. Between 32 and 35 total touchdowns. That's my expectations for Daniel Jones this year. And over 4,000 yards passing.
I agree. And
I agree.
What we want to do is kind of reverse engineer, right? Like we're not even talking about what you expect out of DJ, but what you expect out of each one of our weapons to do. Which again, we didn't have a big nobody. You never overshot anything there. Everything was pretty standard. Say you take 500 yards of passing off of that, you're still at 4,000 yards and probably 30 touch. We didn't even mention rushing touchdowns in this.
Well, anybody that thinks he can't throw 30 touchdowns, wake up. He had 24 and 12 games his rookie year. So he clearly can. It's just a matter, of opening up the offense and trusting their weapons more, trusting their offensive line more. Shermer kind of just said, go have at it your rookie year. You're going to make mistakes. Let's score some points. So anybody thinks he can't throw 30 touchdowns, he can't throw. My mic sucks. He's got a better play. He's got a better play caller. He's got better weapons than he had his rookie year. If he stays healthy, projecting that they're going to throw the ball a lot more. Not to mention, I think the defense is going to be better, which means more opportunities for the offense. I think the defense will create more turnovers. I think our special teams will be better. It was horrible last year. We got more depth. That should trickle down the special teams. So, more hitting yardage for the offense. I just think, he's going to have a pretty big statistical year. I'm not saying he's going to be Burrow, but I think he's going to have a very good statistical year.
So I got a question for everybody here. Speaking on this topic, what do you define a successful year for Daniel Jones? And is it stats for you, or is it team success? No. Is it team success, or is it how the offense does? And if they finish top 10, is that what's your definition of success for Daniel Jones in 2023?
I would say win-loss for me. You know what I mean? Like we could look at the stats, right? Because he didn't have the best statistical year as far as people will say last season, right? But he made it to the second round of the playoffs, right? He did his thing. So you've seen him take those strides in that steps to become what he's become today, to get that money, right? So I would think that he wins more games. I would think the playoffs, again, not necessarily the second round, will make me happy, but I just want to see that consistency of making it into the playoffs. I want to see more wins underneath his belt as well. And I think with that, it's going to come with success. It's going to come with the touchdowns. It's going to come with the yardage. So if we see more wins and et cetera in those playoffs, I think those other stats will kind of work itself out, in my opinion. But
you're probably right.
that's my thought.
How would you define success? Is it a certain number that you're looking for?
Now, is it just success for Daniel Jones?
Yes,
Like,
like Daniel Jones, right.
Yeah, like I think there is a level that he has to get past stat-wise to actually like get the respect around the league, to get that deserve. Because us as Giants fans, we watched every game, and I'll preface this by saying I don't care as long as the Giants are winning games, right? Like I don't care that he threw 15 touchdowns. We had the best season in a decade. I'll sign up for that every time. Winning a road playoff game, that's shit that we have not experienced since you were 10 years younger. Okay, minus 10. That's the last time. Bro. So fuck that. I don't care about 15 touchdowns when we're doing stuff like that. But for Daniel Jones specifically, he's got to be in that 30 touchdown total touchdowns, right? Like he's got to be in that range. He's got to be producing. He got the money. So yeah, the win-loss obviously has to be there. If they on paper have the same season, right? Like 10-7, something like that, make it to the playoffs, maybe win a game, but he shows up and you could see that he's tossing more touchdowns than he ever has before and all that would be a success. I think he's got to do both for me for it to be a really successful. You can't roll out another 15 touchdown campaign. You can't.
What do you got?
I don't stress statistics. I don't. Obviously, yes, there's more pressure when you get your contract. People expect more stats. For me, it comes. Yes, I expect more statistically because they're going to put more on his plate. They're going to throw more. So it's coming. I promise you guys. It's just a matter of where does he get to in terms of the stats. But he's going to have more than 15 passing touchdowns if he plays 17 games this year.
Yeah, he'll just fall into that.
But for me, it's about situational football, much like last year, and just getting better. But he was very good in terms of third down conversion rate, deep late in the games, right? Game-winning drives, not making mistakes, taking care of the football. Obviously, big plays. That, to me, is a huge thing for him this year. Last year, and I'm not even putting this on Jones, I think it was the offensive game plan due to the overall limitations of the roster last year, the offensive line, the weapons. He only had 27 passes where they threw for over 20 yards. In his rookie year, he had 39 and 12 starts. That's 3 per game. You do that over 17 games, you're talking over 50 passing plays of over 20 yards. So I'm expecting that number to nearly double of last year where he had 27. Upper 40s, lower 50s. I expect more big plays in this offense. The touchdowns, I don't know. You can't predict touchdowns. Matthew Stafford had a year where he threw for 5,000 yards. He had 20 touchdowns. So you can't predict touchdowns. Touchdowns come in different ways based off of the structure of the team, based off of the play calling from within the red zone. But I expect that, for me, if this Giants offense is a top 10 offense, no matter how they do it. If Jones runs for 800 yards and throws for 3,600, but they're a top 10 offense, he plays within the structure of that offense. They're competitive. They don't even necessarily need to win 10 games for Jones to have a successful year because they are playing a bear of a schedule. Let's be honest. It's a much better schedule than they were last year. The Jets are probably a top 5 defense. The 49ers are probably a top 5 defense. The Eagles are a top 5 defense. Like, they're playing some very good defenses this year. So let's be fair and real. So I could see the Giants winning 8 or 9 games and Daniel Jones having a very successful season. Obviously, for him to have a tremendously successful season, playoffs, of course. And I do expect playoffs because I trust Dable, but I don't want to put a statistical threshold on it. I don't want to be like, he's got to throw 30 touchdowns. He's got to throw 4,500 yards. No, that's not the way I feel. There's more that goes into it than just statistics.
Fair.
I agree,
listen,
very well
I'm going to throw a name at you guys. And obviously we thought very highly of this man. Eli Manning didn't have the biggest stats. His stat years weren't top 5, top 3, but we love we love our man Eli Manning because he won football games. He was clutch in the fourth quarter, and the offense always ran smooth with him there in his peak years. So I think to what Chris was saying here, I don't put a number to define him as his successful season. Yeah, I think a baseline you'd like to say you want to see 25 plus touchdowns total. Yeah. That's just standard. I think that's minimum. But
he would have 25 last year if he played 17 games.
Right.
He had 22 and he had 3 against the Vikings in the 17th game. So.
Exactly. And so, but if he throws for 25 touchdowns and it runs for like 3 more, but the offense is borderline top 10, we've won 9 to 10 games. I'm considering that a successful season. So I think more team oriented. If he gets the offense performing at a high level, if the team's winning games, that's what matters for me most in a quarterback. Not so much that he's putting up, Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes type numbers, or even top 3, top 5 numbers. I just need him to that offense to function. It was functioning at a high level at the end of this what in the Minnesota games and the Colts teams and shit like that. I want to see that progress, and that's really what defines success for me.
So I feel like
he can keep going up.
I feel like you guys gave answers like from a Giants fan point of view. Like let the team is doing well.
If we're talking ESPN, for them to give the credit
overall,
quarterback, they're going to want fantasy stats. Like that's why everybody says Justin Fields because he's got fantasy stats. But what has Justin Fields done? Like so, yes, I agree. From an ESPN broad fan point of view, of course they're going to expect 35 total touchdowns. But I don't care about that. I care about how does he help my team to win football games.
The one thing I will say is like it gets held against DJ because he only threw for 15 touchdowns. The Giants were one of the most efficient red zone offenses in conversion of touchdowns, but they just didn't get there enough, right? So like a lot of those play calls, if they found rushing plays that were working and DJ rushed for 7 himself, you're taking like touchdown passes away from him because the Giants knew what would work, and that's not really fair. So like to be fair, the offense was being called well in the red zone. They just need to get there more. And as long as the Giants are scoring touchdowns, I agree. Who gives a shit, right?
Yeah.
If you know what's open, who cares?
For the total offense is it top 10 than his individual passing statistics.
If it's a top 10 offense and he's at the helm all year, that's a successful season regardless of stats.
Right.
Yes, I agree.
I totally agree.
Because his rushing game is going to be part of it too.
That's true. But guys, this is almost to the part where we're almost at the end. We want to have a little fun here with Entertainah, right? And I think a shout out to El Jefe for this one, man. I think this is freaking hilarious, man.
Oh, shit, what'd I do?
I'm gonna ask a question here, and this is a fun topic. And I'm gonna start with Jefe because then we'll pass it off to Taina because you got to break the ice here, man. It's your thing. Here it is. What's something you can say during sex and at a drive-through window? Comments, get in the chat below. I couldn't believe this was a topic.
Slow it down for everybody here. Say it again.
I got you because I got to read it again. Forgive me.
Do you want to put porn music to this too, Spiro?
Yeah, please. What's something you can say during sex and at a drive-through window? Jefe, what you got?
Ooh, tough. It's got to be both.
The first one that came to mind is, wow, this is hotter than usual. Dude, I thought of too many did I think of because this was a stupid meme for me to see and just throw at you guys, and you encouraged me, which is your fault, really. Another one is, wow, talk about supersize.
Yeah, that's right. That's one. You took it. You took mine.
Okay, there's some good. That just made me laugh more than it should. Oh God, they're coming out. The chat.
Bring it in, revivalists. All right, so now that we got a little bit of the gist of it, Taina, do you got one? You got one, brother?
I'm gonna try. A lot of people said some good ones. The supersize is really good. I'll take a Slurpee.
You'll take a try. That was great, dude.
That's a good one, Taina, with the score on that one. That's a good one, Speed. You got anything, Speed? That was solid. That was hard to beat.
I want my money back. I want my money back.
That's a good one too. Oh, that's a good one too. Oh,
very good.
I don't got none. I just Jefe took mine, man. The supersized one. You son of a gun. I mean, all the same mind. Great minds think alike. But a little fun exercise, guys. Shout out to the revivalists in the chat, man, and shout out to Christy Entertainah for jumping on with us tonight. We covered a lot of stuff. We covered Giants. We covered a bunch of stuff, and of course the Slurpee, man. He'll take a Slurpee. And man, on behalf of my brothers here, it's your boy Eli Rex, aka Vibes, man. And this is New York Revival, where it's not just sports, it's entertainment, man. And on behalf of my brother, Mr. Glass Half Full, and that's Speed, if you nasty.
Let's go.
And my brother Jefe, aka White Jersey, aka Blue Jersey, aka Damn It Daniel, and of course our special guest, the Entertainah. Talking Sports is in the building. We like to thank y'all. Y'all have a good night. And thank you for the super chat. Peace and blessings. We see you guys at training camp tomorrow. Peace. Oh, hold on. I almost forgot.
Damn,
This
right at the
Thursday.
goal line. Yeah.
This Thursday, we have a special guest stopping by. We're going to record the show.
Oh, special.
A very special
We're not
guest
going
that we're
to say
going to
who it is
interview.
yet, but they're
They're very special. I'm excited.
They're pretty famous. Like over 400,000 followers on Twitter famous.
Wow. Like they putting in the work out there. Oh,
Can I just say one more thing? One more thing.
Oh,
Our girl, Precious.
Who's better than you, Precious? Who is better than you?
Best. She's
Love
the best.
you.
Hey,
I got to see you at a barbecue now. I got to pay this back or something. What's
yes, you better. You better.
No, but one more thing on camp. First of all, if anyone's going there and you see us, come say hi. First of all 3 of us will be there. Second, I have 3 extra tickets. So DM me, reach out if you or anybody you know would like to go. I'd be more than happy to share I want to make sure Giants fans get there if they want to get there. So I got 3. They're free. Just hit me up and they're all yours.
And one last thing, Mets are winning. The Mets are beating the Yankees 7-2. So
no one cares about the goddamn Mets.
Nobody cares about baseball.
Good night, guys. All right, we're done. Get this out of here.
Eli Rax, El Jefe, Mr. Glass half full, the revival.